All right, what is going on, guys? We've got NFL today, so I'm going to jump right in. We're going to start with the Bears and the Colts. The Bears, just a horrendously bad offense right now, literally the worst, going up against the Colts, whose defense is not good. So the question is, can the Bears actually move the football? Can Caleb Williams get the job done? More importantly, can they get the rushing attack going? They are really, really bad, about 76 yards a game. I think they should have some success. We should see Swift be able to run the ball a little bit. You've got Herbert in there as well. I would say Colts win this though, so give me Colts on the money line, or you could take the 1.5. I do think the 1.5 matters, so I'll take the money line. Eagles and the Saints. So the Saints are going absolutely insane, averaging about 45 points a game. Eagles defense is just allowing a lot of points a game. So you've got a really bad defense against a pretty high-powered offense. This is a tough one. At New Orleans, give me the Saints in this one. I just don't think the Eagles can stop it. We do have a player prop that we'll talk about for that one. Packers and the Titans. Just a game I really don't want to touch, to be honest. I would lean Titans at home, especially if Malik Willis is the QB. I would have a heavy lean towards the Titans, but probably not a game I want to touch. Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Give me Tampa Bay in this one, absolutely. Denver, not great. Bo Nix still looking like the game's moving pretty fast for him. So can he slow things down? I don't know. I don't think it happens this game. I think Baker is able to throw the ball against this team. Will we see White actually start to rush a little bit? I think so. I think it should open up the rush game if Baker's able to hit the pass attack here. So give me the Bucks on this one. I don't know about the -6.5. Yeah, I'd take it. -6.5. Texans and the Vikings. So this one should be a really good game. Obviously, it's in Minnesota. I like C.J. Stroud to get the job done today. This Texans team just looks really good. He is spreading the ball around to these receivers. I do like a Nico Collins anytime TD today. Giants and the Browns. This is an interesting one. Which Browns team are we going to get? Last week looked real good. Going up against the Giants, Daniel Jones is just he's awful. Let's just call it what it is. I would take the Browns. Give me the points. Maybe go -6. I know it's a half, but I'd probably eat it and go -6. Just a little bit of juice there. Chargers and the Steelers should be an interesting game. We've got a low scoring one, over under at 35.5. God, I might actually lean towards the under in this one. It just depends. We'll see what Justin Fields can do. I like the Steelers in this one. I know I can see making the Chargers a bet here, but man, I think Steelers at home. The yellow towels flying. I think Fields actually has a pretty decent day, so I like the Steelers here. I would even do the -2.5 with them. Panthers and the Raiders. Okay. Bryce Young benched. The Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. Can the Red Slinger come out and do what he does? I don't think so. Just being honest, I think he does better than Bryce Young. I want to say his pass attempt lines at like 31.5. I think I would do his under on his pass attempts. I like the Raiders to get the job done today against the Panthers. Dolphins and the Seahawks. Would have loved to have seen this game with Tua behind center, but that is not happening. So I think Seattle should have a day here and win this fairly easily. But we'll have to see. I mean, they've still got weapons. They've still got a chain. You got Waddle. You got Hill. I mean, the offense is still there. It's just, can the QB get them the ball? That's going to be the question against a good Seahawks defense. So yeah, can't trust them yet. I need to see a game, see what we got going on there. Niners and the Rams. This is just a team of broken players. So no Nakua, no Cup for the Rams. The 49ers, everybody's out. McCaffrey's out. Deebo Samuel's out. Well, I don't know what this game's going to look like. It's kind of hard to not take the Rams with the points, to be honest. At home, Stafford's averaged 240 some yards a game versus the Niners in his career, and he's had pretty good success against them. So I know he doesn't have a lot of targets to throw to, but it's still Matt Stafford. So tough one here. I don't know. I wouldn't want to pick on this game, for being honest. It's just too many injuries, too much of a bad game there. Ravens at the Cowboys. Wow, Cowboys. Woo! Got absolutely torched by the Saints last week. So Ravens 0-2. I can't see them going 0-3. Give me the Ravens here. Minus 115 seems like pretty good value. Don't quite not sold on the Cowboys. So yeah, I'll take the Ravens in this one. I like Derrick Henry to get a touchdown in this spot. I like Lamar's over in his passing yards. So absolutely, give me the Ravens in this spot. Still a great defense. We know Dak likes to throw. I could see him throwing 1 to 2 picks today for sure. Lions and the Cardinals. This should be a good one. I think the Cards surprised a lot of people with how good their offense have been rolling. James Conner's been rushing it pretty well. You've got Kyler, who has been very accurate. Marvin Harrison Jr. kind of came out a little welcome party last week. So should be a good game. High-scoring game. Over-unders at 51.5. And I wouldn't be surprised if we went over this. So I would lean Cardinals +3, to be honest. At home, Lions D is just still not there, man. So I like the Cards. I think they're going to throw up some points early and often here. Chiefs and the Falcons should be a pretty good game. Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes duking it out. I really like this Falcons team. I feel like they've underperformed. They've got nice pieces in play on the offensive side. Chiefs, we'll have to see how they do without Pacheco. We saw that rookie last week steal. Pretty nice little fumble he had there. But we have to see how he does. I like him, though. He runs hard. He's a slasher. So I think the Chiefs get it done here. I would take Chiefs -3 in this spot. Jacksonville and Buffalo. Yeah, not taking Jacksonville in Buffalo. That's not happening. So perfectly fine taking Buffalo -4.5. I might even look to move this up to like -6.5 even. I think Buffalo should be able to get the job done against the Jags on Monday. And then our other last Monday night football game, Commanders and the Bengals. Cincy, baby. Can't see them going 0-3, especially in the jungle here. I think they handle the Commanders pretty easily. We'll have T. Higgins back, so I think that'll be a very huge offensive weapon back for Burrow. Him and Chase just haven't looked in sync so far, and I think that's because we've seen Jamar Chase with all of his contract dispute issues, blah, blah, blah. He's still in kind of preseason mode, so I think they'll start to click and connect. I like them get the job done. Can they hold Jaden Daniels down? His rush line's pretty high. It's like 49.5. That's really the only thing that scares me. If he gets out of the pocket and runs a ton, we've seen the Bengals are very susceptible to that. So that's really my only fear in that game. But more than comfortable taking the Bengals. -7.5 is a little too much for me. I would probably drop this down to like 6.5, 6 maybe, if I were to play it. All right, let's talk about best bets today. So player props. I like Stafford. Like I said, over 215.5 passing yards. I know he doesn't have all of his targets. The 49ers are averaging 227.5 passing yards a game given up. It's 22nd in the league. Stafford is over in 4 of his last 5 games versus the 49ers. He has averaged 246 yards against this team since 2022. 100% like him go over this line. We know he's going to sling it. That's what he does. James Conner, 60.5 is a little steep against this Lions. I mean, the one thing they do really well on D is stop the rush. So 76.5 yards a game. I think Kyler Murray's going to find some success outside of the pocket when they blitz him. I don't think Conner gets over this line. I could see him finishing somewhere around like 45 to 50, to be honest. CJ Stroud over 6.5 rushing yards. This is a little dodgy, but he's over this in 11 of 19 games. He had 13 yards last game in Indy. He also had -1 versus the Bears. But the Bears were just allowing him to just pick people. Like, he was on point. So I think he gets the job done today. Derek Carr over 1.5 touchdowns. Eagles are giving up 242 passing yards a game. We just talked about it. Saints are scoring 45.5 a game. Do I think they continue that? Probably not. But over 1.5 touchdowns with the way Carr's dealing, I'll take that all day. And then Baker Mayfield over 1.5 touchdowns. Little dodgy. He's over this line in 7 of 10, 3 of his last 5. Denver's only allowed 2 passing touchdowns this year. But, they played Pittsburgh. They played Seattle. Pittsburgh, Fields wasn't throwing it a ton, so a little more of a conservative offense we saw from them. I'll take Baker over this line. I like that today. All right, anytime TDs. I know people love the anytime TDs. David Montgomery over 0.5 touchdowns. Basically get one. So minus 130, he's over this in 4 of his last 5, 7 of his last 10. A chain to get a touchdown at plus money. Now I think if Tua was in here, we're seeing this more like minus 130, minus 150, somewhere. It's going to be really high. But he's still crossed this line in 4 of his last 5. I still think he gets the job done today. Give me Etienne for the Jags to score a touchdown at plus 100. Scored a touchdown in the last 2 games, 3 of the last 5. He still gets the ball put in his hands a lot, so I like him to score. Maybe not on the rush, could see it on like some type of screen or something like that, but I do think he gets in. Nico Collins, we already talked about that, especially at plus 140. He's over this in 60% of the games in his last 10, 60% of his last 5, so just to play on value there. Jonathan Taylor, minus 135. I don't love paying that, but he's over in 80% of his last 10, 80% of his last 5. So I'll take my odds. He didn't score a touchdown last game, so that's why I like him to score this game. And then Derrick Henry at minus 115 is just ridiculously good value. He's over this in 70% of games in his last 10, 80% in his last 5. So love him to score a touchdown today. Parlays I got 3 of them here. So Browns minus 6. So I think the line's 6.5. Just kind of dumped it down to 6. So it took a little bit off. And then Colts money line. Pair those 2 together plus 233. Give me the Arizona Cardinals plus 3. Baltimore Ravens money line over the Cowboys. That's plus 249. And then give me, this is a very, very square bet, but I'll do it. Kansas City and Buffalo. Pair those 2 together plus 129. So those are the bets I have. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. I'll catch you in the next video.